Right here. On the zucchini. Zucchini.
Okay, up here. Anybody who has a farm share or anybody who has a garden in the backyard that creates a bumper crop has this problem. I have too much kale or I have too much zucchini, and our friends just look at us and say, God, don't leave that bag here, please. I still love the stuff you gave me last week. Well, we have a solution to this problem. It's called ShareGrown. ShareGrown is a social gardening platform that connects gardeners, people who have farm shares, members of the community, garden centers, garden clubs together. It allows them to share ideas, share what they have, find other people who say would want to plan planting a garden. So you grow the tomatoes, I'll grow the zucchinis. That way we can share and swap. It's a place to share ideas, post forums. Local gardening centers would be able to post events and reach out to their customer. Now, you may be asking yourself, how big is this market? How big in the United States? Well, the home gardening industry market had 43 million households in the United States in 2009 had a vegetable garden. That's a huge market. It's a $2.1 billion industry for selling of garden supply. How big is the CSA? Well, we know that more and more people are getting farm shares. In the state of Virginia, based on the numbers that I saw, there's about 17,000 households that have a farm share, most of them located in Northern Virginia. So there's a great opportunity here in Virginia to grow a Virginia-based company that could spread nationally and internationally. So in looking at what our business breakdown would look like, we estimated that we could grow this business making approximately $47,000 in the first year on $10,000 worth of startup costs. This was based on approximately 1,600 members paying $25, which we validated through a participant survey, and that was the average amount that they said they would be willing to pay. 94% of those surveyed said that they would pay for a service like this. We estimated 10 garden centers at $500 membership, which would allow them to reach out to this potential community and be part of a growing community within their neighborhoods. Our operating costs for the first year were $31,000, basically personnel costs. So we found interest not only in the United States, but across in the UK as well. We built an app this weekend, which is posted on Google Play for download. It's a beta, but it is there. We also posted a landing page, and thought through what our back-end database would look like. So we want to be able to connect people and have them have the opportunity to be somewhat private. So we organized around schools or polling stations, someplace where people could find each other. So who is our team? Our crop circle consists of myself, Julia Pfaff. I'm the head carrot. I'm a former nonprofit executive, policy walk-in, Army veteran, and Army spouse. Kelly Ward, who's the chief P, she's our website and app developer. And Anthony Payne jumped on last minute this morning when his team broke up, and he's our executive black bean engineer turned accountant. And without him, we wouldn't have any slides today. So we are grateful to him for jumping on. So we'd like you to download our apps. Any questions? And join our farm crop circle.
What is your chief way of marketing this again so you can expose this to the world?
So basically what we would do in a silent campaign, if we were to launch this for next growing season next year, we would spend about the next 6 months reaching out to the local gardening clubs and gardening centers, probably offering the gardening clubs either a promotional rate for their members, either free or reduced rate, to try to populate. We focus on Richmond and Northern Virginia initially. There are 74 garden centers in the Northern Virginia area around Alexandria and 44 down here in Richmond. So an estimate of 10 might be a little bit high, but I think it's probably doable. I've spoken to Knowles, which is my local garden center, and they were positive to the idea, but I didn't have a price point for them. but they were intrigued by the idea. And garden centers are trying to be local community hubs. So they're offering things like parties for children for pumpkin season, or Christmas things, or classes.
Okay, one last question. How many of these are nationwide?
How many garden centers?
Yeah.
How many garden centers are nationwide? Well, according to the National Gardening Association, it's huge. I have the numbers, but I don't have it off the top of my head. But it's a $2.1 billion business, 17% of which falls in the local gardening center, but the demographic from 18 to 34 is spending more of their money, and that's the growing demographic in the sector, in local gardening centers. They're avoiding Lowe's and Home Depot.
So the monetization is really focused around selling to the fellow gardeners?
It's really focused on, the platform itself is a way of meeting and reaching out. So whether or not two people choose to sell their produce back and forth, or whether they choose to trade it, is up to them. The platform is not going to dictate how that would work. So it's sort of like Meetup in that way. One of the things that we would like to offer in the future would be the opportunity to go to local farmers markets where ShareGrown would actually buy the table, and it would be a member benefit, and we might charge a little bit more for that because there's a price for selling at a farmer's market, and it can be
Sure.
steep.
And is there, I assume if you went that way, you would have some kind of revenue coming back as you sell, and you keep a portion and give the rest back to the grower?
Probably what we would do in that case, the grower would sell their own stuff, and they would just maybe have a higher membership fee. So rather than paying $25 a year, they pay a little bit more to be able to have access to the table.
Thank you.